What's up, guys? Okay, so, the mic is loud. Nah, I'm not even on here yet. Okay. Well, what's up, guys? No, yeah, it's off. I hope you guys can hear Nancy whispering in the back. It's really funny. Okay, so I'm getting a couple things set up here before I am live. What's up? What's up, everybody? Y'all can start sharing. You guys should be able to see me here in a sec. Let's see here. There we go. What's up, everyone? What's good? How's it hanging? So we're gonna kick things off officially in like 3 to 4 minutes while I, do my rounds here. But what's good? How's everyone doing? How's life? Okay. So, for those of you that have been plugging in pretty consistently here, I'm sure you've just been in the space overall for the last year, couple years or so. Right now, you might be kind of, feeling yourself a little bit. You made the right decisions. You were investing when you needed to. You might be feeling pretty good right now. And honestly, we're only really getting things started. So I feel good about where we're at right now in the markets overall. Obviously, cryptos have been pretty epic. So I'm excited for that and what's coming. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well and what to expect. But today we're going to go over a few different things. So not just crypto. Actually, we're not going to go over crypto until the very end. So you do have to stay till the end if you want to have those conversations and go over those things. But what's up, Gio? What's up, Ezekiel, Kev, Seth, Jose? What's going on, guys? All right, so give me another minute or two. We'll go ahead and get this all started. Boom. All right, cool. Sent. All right, one sec. All right, cool. We should be good to go. All right. What's up, Ike here, man? I love seeing you on here, man. An OG. So, we're a little festive. Got the tree up. We're here. We're vibing. And then let me go ahead and get everything in front of you guys now. All right, I think that should be it. Cool. All right, guys. How was everyone? For those of you that celebrate, how's everyone's Thanksgiving? Hope you all got your gains in, spent some quality time with the fam. I'm here almost. I feel like I'm about to shake off my little travel bug I caught. Not in the actual, not in the usual sense where you're traveling a lot, but I literally got slightly sick while I was traveling. So this was actually a play that we had for today. Caught a NAS sell from here. It was almost hit a 2R on here. I tightened my stop, so I actually ended up getting stop profited it out at about half R. Whatever, not a big deal. I'm gonna go into that here in a second, but I do want to kick things off with some fundamentals, just so you guys are ready for what's to come for the week and what you can focus on, what you can kind of maybe ignore a little bit or not give so much priority to. Mago Mondays, what's up? What's up, Daniel? And so, this week is a lot of dollar news. That's the main thing. Last week, not so much. This week, every day this week, we have USD news. So if I were you, I would set some alerts, some alarms, so that you're ready. Tuesday, Wednesday, easy money, 9 a.m. Central, which is 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. For those of you in Europe, all of these are nice and easy times to be able to be looking at the market, be prepared for what's to come. Now, Thursday and Friday, for those of you in the US, a little earlier. So you do want to get ready. You want to be prepared. And then I'd say the only other big one outside of the dollar news events this week, we do have Powell speaking on Wednesday. This is a New York Times Dealbook Summit. So a little bit of Q&A. To be honest, this is not like the biggest thing in the world. But depending on what's going on in the world, depending on sometimes just unexpected moments can have a pretty big effect. I don't think that will be one of them. I think it'll be some movement, but I don't think it won't be an FOMC. We won't be seeing anything crazy like that. But what might be interesting is this CPI event that we do have here. We do have a CHF CPI. Now, I can't imagine many of you are diehard CHF traders or trading the franc too much, but I will briefly go over some ideas that I think do have some potential. Fair warning, I've already looked at CHF pairs, and I think CPI might be more of a move that could capture liquidity rather than setting ideas up. So I don't think it'll trigger any setups that I see, but I think it can actually be what can create or start to build out, a play that we like. So, but CPI is always a big news event. So I wouldn't be shocked if we get some volatility. I just don't know if it's really going to put me in anything. And also, I don't really feel like staying up too late for London session. So for those of you, maybe if you're like in Cali, this might be right up your time. I don't know, up to you guys. But for me, I don't think it's going to be worth it. But again, what I want to do more so with you, all of you here, is first, we're going to tackle on the majors. So we're going to look at some dollar pairs. Then we're going to look at metals, see what gold and silver are doing. There is a nice gold play that I like. And then we have we'll look into oil and indices. And then to wrap things up, we'll dive into some crypto stuff. All right, guys. So inflation of the CHF, yep. Someone asked, hey, Mike, I have the opportunity to buy a motorcycle for work, or buy a FTMO challenge. I don't know which one to choose. Okay. Duvan, do you understand English or just Spanish? ¿Hablas inglés o solo español? Me dejas saber. Huh? FTMO, it might be like, I think those are like 500, 600 if you're doing 100K. So what I would do is I would use a motorcycle to make income and then make the money. And then at a profit, you can get something like that. Something that Nan said a few years back, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, maybe now. She said, you want to buy at a profit, not at a pocket. Right? So out of profit, not out of pocket. And when you do it like that, you're kind of you're never playing with something that you can lose. You're always playing with something like that, with bonus, with extra. Entonces, básicamente, mi opinión sería, usa la moto para trabajar, sácate ingresos adicionales, con los ingresos ya puedes comprar la cuenta y ahora tienes para hacer dinero todo el tiempo. No hay prisa. Esa es mi perspectiva, en mi opinión. De ahí tienes otro ingreso adicional y de ahí siempre puedes estar sacando más. So, yeah, I mean, I guess to connect this to anybody really, if you can invest in having something that can produce you income, like whether it's your own personal, like let's say you wanted to, I don't know, you're going to be a welder or a painter. Let's say you're going to just paint houses. Not even make it easy. You're going to mow lawns. All right, well, buy the lawnmower first so that you can go make money. And then you'll have enough to make up for the lawnmower, and then enough to invest, whether it's investing in cryptos and resources and whatever it is that you want in your own accounts and tools. So, yeah, and then you're doing it out of, again, it's out of profit. It's not out of just principle all the time. So a good way to look at it, sometimes most of the time, you're better off kind of delaying something, especially if it means it puts you ahead long term. So, that's just what I would do. All right, anyways, diving back into here, let's take a look at what we have going on with the majors. I'll look at indices in a little bit because I do have some plays. Now, for those of you that are indice traders, you guys know for indices, we trade live together in the mornings. So indice plays, I usually don't have too much before the week starts, but every day we're basically taking a position. Not always. I think November was a little bit less indice trading for me. I think I only took 6 trades on NASDAQ on the month, and I think maybe 4 on US30, which is about half of what I would normally trade. But with all that being said, the majors do bring in a few things. Now, we'll start things off with AUD USD. Now, the Australian dollar had been squeezing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we were squeezing on both ends here, and then we finally broke through here. Now, I talked about this. I don't think I did a YouTube stream for a couple weeks. I don't remember doing any for the last couple weeks, travel and things like that. But if you were if you're part of the community, then we talked about how this was building up quite a bit of liquidity, and so the market was likely to crack through and clear these lows. So considering that we never got that higher high, and we struggled to get above when everything else was actually pushing a lot higher, I felt pretty confident that we were going to work our way lower. And so AUD USD right now is trading at levels that we haven't really seen for a couple months, and we're at this point here where August 5th we had a massive crash across like all asset classes. And so when this dropped, this cleared below a few lows, and I know a lot of people have been waiting to get into buy positions in AUD USD, and especially when we had something like this where the market creates a giant wick. Let me go ahead and remove this here. But when it makes a giant wick like it did here, people immediately think, okay, this has got to start going higher. It's losing momentum. It's going to go bullish. But that's why I have an additional confirmation for knowing structure. And we never went bullish on even like 1 hour time frames. So I was still just mindful. Could we go lower? And I, at this point, think that we will. And so, again, we're looking at and I'm going to go to the weekly just so it's kind of easier to see what we're working with here. But, we had our higher highs, higher lows. This was unsustaining. We go above and we crack these highs again. We trade above here for a couple weeks, nothing crazy, and then this comes crashing down. So now, we're still going further down. The difference is that AUD USD has been so slow to work its way to this August 5th price action. If you compare this to NZD USD, this already went below these lows. Euro USD, this happened a long time ago, got all the way over here. GBP USD, similar situation. So really this AUD USD is the last pair out of the dollar pairs that hasn't quite, hasn't broken the structure one, and it's just been lagging behind. So it's just been so much more bullish, or it's been such a weak bear that it's almost like inevitable that we eventually get this reversal. So now that the market has kind of slowly kept working its way lower, I do want us to get that shift in momentum, and I think it's coming. So here, as of right now, there's reason to believe that the market can keep going lower, and at this point, either you can take a position from the daily time frame and just that's it, like playing off of where we've seen resistance and support in the past, and considering that it would be a 50 pip stop, seeing this thing go 200 pips is not that crazy. Just feeling price action from November, feeling this imbalance, not a crazy idea, very much a highly probable idea. Or you wait some more and you just allow the market to print and hope, or be okay, not even hoping, but be okay with the market either giving you a very specific schematic, maybe we just might end up going lower, and then the market shows us the accumulation. It shows us what we need to see in order to take a buy and let this thing ride. Maybe something like this is a possibility. If it's not, then you got to be okay with that. And so either you wait for this and then you take a buy position here, or you can take that daily position, so that trade off of the higher time frames. Totally something that you can do. Otherwise, if you wait and you just don't get this, then you just have to be okay with that. Like, all right, it is what it is. Especially if you're like, you know what, I don't want a 50 pip stop on AUD USD. I don't feel like being in a trade for weeks. Then you can just see maybe the market gives us this accumulation before running forward. So AUD USD, higher time frames, we definitely have that bullish narrative. Like, it looks pretty solid in my opinion. So even then, you could take a position on the swing, and then if there is an accumulation, then you can add on to that, and that is how you kind of scale in again. So something to think about for you guys. Now I see some questions here in the chat box, so let me go ahead and answer them. Let me read into there. I'm gonna interrupt the analysis for a little bit. Got to shake things up, keep on your toes. What's good? It's my boy. I'm profitable on NAS, barely profitable on US30, and negative for SPX. That's 6 months of data. Should have stopped trading SPX at all. How often are you trading S&P? One, how often are you trading S&P? And then what do those numbers look like in terms of like how many trades is that? And then is it that you have just a bunch of little losers? Are there any bigger, like higher RR ideas? Kind of what does that look like? Because it might be that S&P I rarely ever trade, so you might just not have that many trades anyways, so it might be too early to understand. Because time is one thing, like 6 months is a pretty good amount of time, but if you're only taking 5 trades in S&P, I don't know if that would be enough to just say, yeah, just kind of get it out of there. I trade S&P, but it's like maybe once a month. I'd say it's probably like once every 2 months that I happen to get a setup. All right, what's up, Marcello? Hi, Mike. My crypto portfolio is up real nice. Congrats. Basically matched my whole year's income I made in 2023. Nice. Do you think it's a good idea to take some profits? I've been tuning into live for a few years now and don't want to jump the gun too early and sell if there's so much upside potential. Would love your perspective. Camilo, la de español son los domingos. Entonces, hoy no es la sesión de español. But, okay, so with that being said, I think that we have a long way to go still. Okay. I don't think it's a terrible idea to take any profits right now. Markets have been pumping like crazy. Paying yourself, definitely feel free to do so. If you are going to pay yourself and take some profits, let's say maybe your initial or whatever, and keep it on the stable side. You don't have to put it in your bank account if you don't need it. You put it on the stable. and then if we do get the market corrections that I think we will be getting soon, then you now have more to work with at better prices. At the end of the day, if you've been plugging in for years on end, you know, like, you have an understanding of the markets. You understand trends, you understand charts, distribution, accumulation, etc. And so if that is the case, you just said you did your whole income. I'm not here to, I don't want to really persuade you to do one thing or another, but you've been preparing for it. Think about what your analysis tells you, not your emotions, not your desire, not even your fears, but what does your analysis tell you? Do you need this money right now? Also, you can consider like thinking a bit more abstract or just outside of the charts. Are there, let's say, liabilities or debts that if you just took care of a little bit, it can get you ahead? You don't have to take a whole bunch off the table. You don't have to take a profit on everything. But, could you take a little bit off, and that would you can clear up, a credit card if you have one. I don't know. You might be in a really good place financially. And if so, then I say, let it ride. We haven't even seen the altcoin market crack the market cap that it had in 2021. Not even there yet. So I do think we have a long way to go. In my opinion, I think it's going to be, we've only seen the beginnings of it. So that's my take. I've taken some profits. If that gives you any perspective, I've taken some, put it to stable, ready to shoot when the price is right. And then every week I put money into just some stable so that I'm ready and we're just got a bit more ammo. So that's my take though. If you do take some off the table, obviously you always run the chance that this thing just keeps on running, keeps on gunning. But considering you're up as much as you are, take something out. You don't have to. And if you're like, you know what, I literally don't need any of this, I'm chilling, I have no rush. We haven't seen any signs for, that the run's over or anything like that. So pretty good. Hi Mike, I've been learning how to trade. I'm 16 years old and your vids have helped me a lot. I opened a live and turned 30 into 150. Nice. Good stuff, dude. Congrats. Let's go. Pay yourself. Hey, withdraw 30. Withdraw 30 for sure. Yeah, you gotta see that. It's always good. I don't know if you ever withdrawn before. You're 16. That's insane. But withdraw. It's a cool feeling. Mike, please, que el dinero retail ya está en el mercado o aún no entra. ¿Qué piensas? Nah, retail's not even in yet. Retail's not really even in at all. I think retail got into some meme coin stuff, like a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Like we're not at that level yet. We're starting to get into it a little bit more. Like your people that got in late last time are starting to get in, I think, again now. People that got burned before, like, so, I think those people are coming back late again. But it's not, I'll say it like this. People aren't arriving right now to the end of the party where it's just like no one's left. And it's just, it's just not the time you want to be in. People are going to join the party like right before things get good. That's where we're at right now. You're not early enough to get the good spots, to actually get some food. You're not early enough at that point. That's not the case. But you are early enough to still have a really good time. So, yeah, that's what I think where we're at. But anyways, I said I was gonna talk about crypto at the end, and that didn't happen. But we're gonna come back. All right, we're gonna bring it all back. Hold on. Okay. So, AUD USD, more of a swing idea. Now going into NGD USD, not too much I'm gonna go over here. This idea that we called out. If you guys were at the live workshop, I talked about NGD USD or GU being great sell ideas. Well, this was absolutely precise. I didn't end up taking this though. full transparency, because I was waiting for Euro USD. Euro never got back up to our zone, and instead it respected the previous structure, and it didn't wake up to here. So GU, NZD USD, and GBP USD both came into the zone, and both doing their thing. Didn't take either, because I'm following my rules. So my rule is I'm gonna sell the laggard. Sell the one that is kind of like the weakest. In this case, would be the weakest bull. That's the one I want to take, because there's a good chance that it would just wick us in. We wouldn't get wicked out. It wouldn't break structure and then go in our favor. Didn't really go down that way this time. But something interesting is how the market has distributed now. So one thing you guys will notice is you have, some highs. The market sweeps the high, works its way lower, pumps up again, then starts to drop. So here I can kind of see Euro USD push the market higher, clear out these retail sellers again. So we had more equal highs here. Nice little liquidity. Sweep these guys and then work its way lower. So nice. And then in the meantime, this also creates some more liquidity. So I think we could see some sells from this zone. It's a possibility. Now GBP USD does something similar, where GU instead makes a big move up here, fills in balance, and then worked its way down. So I'm curious to see which one of these ideas ends up playing out, whether it's GBP USD, because here this one to me is clear. Sweeps the resistance here, textbook, sweeps that, drops, minor pullback, imbalance fill, continuation. So yeah, I want to know, are we going to get up to this zone in GU and sell GU, or is Euro going to get to this zone and then we're going to sell Euro USD? So as you guys can see, this Euro would be mitigating Friday's like 11, 12 o'clock price action, while GU, this is mitigating Monday's London session time. So either way, one of these will play out. As of right now, as we mark this up, this is the pullback that we're seeing. So right now, it looks like we're at around, we've rejected a 38.2, but we're a little bit lower than that with GU. And then when we look at Euro USD, which this looks like a better trade in my opinion, I think we're slightly more bearish. Euro also rejected 38.2, but GU, I don't know, they're pretty much the same right now. I think they're pretty similar. So we'll just let time do its thing. We'll wait for the pullbacks, and I'll be looking for sells with one of these guys over here, EU or GU. Now, whatever, I want to know what you guys think. Would you take a sell with one of those? Would you look for something else? How do you guys see this coming alive? I took that sell on NZD USD. Nice. There are still a few 7 out of 10s to talk out at the party, correct? Yeah. There's still a few. I don't think about that. 100%. You might not. There's definitely going to be some 7s out there just for you, Ray. Or just for you, Roy. You're not fully late to the party. Okay. Now, moving on. We've seen USD CAD. In my opinion, I'm not looking to do anything here. Equal lows, liquidity, not too much selling going on over here. I'm kind of staying out. UCAD's been relatively bullish. USD CHF as well. Now we talked about CHF having CPI. Right, CHF, big news here in about 5 hours. Now we had a big push up here, clears out equal highs. The market then gaps down. So when you look at this, guys, from like a daily, you go, oh man, this was a huge pump and dump. The market goes and clears these highs on purpose, mitigates this, which I actually had marked up from July. So if you guys have been here since July, you actually could have caught the sell. But from here, the market sells off. It doesn't make lower lows. And this does not break through. I would have loved to seen a lower low. confirming our bearish trend, but instead the market does not decide to do that. We get all the way down to here. This lures in even more retail buys and then immediately comes right back up. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, well, is this worth still selling? We didn't get that shift in momentum. The 4 hour didn't give us a break of structure. Is it still worth it? And I mean, the 1 hour has been bearish. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. We kind of failed at getting higher highs here as well. So, we could see the market go up here a little further. But is it going to stop? And we look at USD CAD and you look at USD CHF, and USD CHF just looks like it's a stronger bull in general, like it's just pushing higher and higher. You look at USD JPY, USD JPY is asleep. It's struggling so much to push higher and higher. I mean, I don't think that USD CHF is going to hold this level. It's just been a lot more bullish than these other dollar pairs. So that's why I've stayed out of all of this. Literally all of it. Now, where things get interesting. Here's where things get a little bit more interesting. And now we're talking about gold. So we're past the majors, basically looking at maybe possible swing trade with AUD USD, but price needs to drop a bit more before looking for any buys. And then we're talking about potential setups with Euro USD or GBP USD. So we talked about selling off of that price action from a few days back. So something to consider as well. Now, looking at gold. Gold, two key zones. Two main zone, guys. First one, way up here. Way up here. Nice sweep of these highs. Feel some imbalance. And then just absolutely melts away. Complete meltdown. Finally, it got a hold of itself. And we've seen a nice accumulation play out here. Market is giving us some just nice price action. However, we did end up with equal lows down here. More on that a little later. So what can happen here? Now, I do think that eventually we can close out these buy positions, what just drives price way up here. I think we can eventually get a reversal over here. However, the question is, will it sustain this right here? Big pump on the 25th. Clears out sellers, lures in buyers, and then it rips. So this is the initial move that I think we have some potential in. Equal highs, the market's already bearish, sweeps those highs, fills imbalance, continuation, the market is sustainable down here. Shows that the price is pretty nice over here. There's sellers and there's buyers. So right now we've filled some of this imbalance. However, not only did it leave equal highs, which shows us that the market could be enticed to go higher here, but also this buy position is totally open. The market has to mitigate this at some point. So I do think that this gold sell can go very well. Now a couple things that we can consider for the exit. Now my entry is going to be here because this is where we've seen resistance and this is where imbalance stops. So I have an entry there. This would put us at about 118 pip stop, which sounds like a lot, but there's some easy targets so far. One, the market reversing and then playing off of this previous level of resistance in the past. So it's a pretty strong level here. Play off of there. Or the market may go further and actually look to clear out this liquidity here. So we just might see something drop to here as well. If this happens, again, we still have this open position, so I wouldn't be totally shocked if the market drops, continues, and then moves on. So yeah, that's where we're at right now with gold. This one looks like a good setup. If you want to be if you want to pay yourself and be much more likely to stay in the game, then I would say take some time off the table or just take your trade with a 2.25 here. just in case the market, that's all they had, and then it wants to go higher. Hope that makes sense. Is that clicking for everybody? Are you guys learning something? Are you seeing the market in a different light now? And I'll give you guys here a little bit to just mark this up for yourselves so you kind of see where I'm coming from. What stable do you buy? I'm a USDC guy. It's up to you guys. I mean, something about Tether's always been off for me, so I've chilled on that. Okay, so that's gold. Now to add extra confirmation, silver has just been much more bullish. So gold has been a weak bull. Silver has been much more aggressive on the way up. I talked about this if you guys were on the Spanish stream that I did on here on YouTube yesterday. I talked about this here. I wanted silver buys, but I wanted them a little lower. I wanted a better risk reward, so we didn't quite get down here, and then the market played off the zone, and you know it's doing what it's doing. So playing off way more bullish. With silver, again, really similar to gold, but however, take a look at this. Gold. I see y'all plugged in today. Y'all showing up. Okay. All right. So we have this here. Now I am gonna disappoint you guys. I don't think I'm gonna be live next Monday though. Be on a cruise, and I just don't see myself streaming here on next Monday. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, crazier things have happened. Now with gold, again, it's a lot more bearish, so it should take a bit more to get up to here, which structure should respect compared to silver that's already trading much higher. So, you know, I think silver just naturally is pushing a bit more, so I'd rather go with gold. So I hope you guys have that there. Actually, I'll drop the markup here in the chat for you guys. So actually, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did drop a video today in Spanish. It was like a 2-minute video, just breaking down gold. Would you guys be interested if I did some of those randomly throughout the week here for you? It's like a video idea, super short, straight to the point, about, you know, I don't know, whatever. Would you guys watch that if I sent those in here? All right, that's gold, silver, we already went over. And then from there, I mean, this kind of takes us to all right. Before I get into Bitcoin, before we talk about Bitcoin, oh, we swept here. I didn't even see this. It happened around 11. Swept some liquidity, and then we started to rally. Ooh, interesting. All right. So before I get into that, let's look at some indices. We got some action going on over here. Okay. So interesting move. Now on the live stream this morning for the community you guys were on, we had a couple hundred people on. I said how this sell here in this imbalance technically doesn't fit my mitigation model, but I saw the imbalance and we saw the way it was playing off. It cleared all-time highs, was so brief, and so I said, look guys, this is not my entry model, but I can definitely see it playing out. And so some of you took this, caught like 300 points, which was awesome. Now what has happened now, which is why you don't need every move. You don't need every move. You just need the right ones. You need the ones that you understand. You need the ones that you understand the win rate. You understand how to manage them, how to exit. The whole shebang. So now, maybe you didn't catch the reversal off of the imbalance, but you do have an entirely new setup because you see New York Open sweep these highs. Check this out. Sweeps. Not only does it clear does it push up to these imbalance, but then it actually liquidates retail sellers here, cruises its way down, gives us a strong close below this low. So let's say our 5-minute is very bearish. It comes down, yes, it comes right back up, but then it comes right back down. So we've just traded below this price for some time. In my opinion, this has proven that it is bearish. And not only that, but I mean, we've been squeezing in the zone for quite some time now. We've been, building up quite a bit here. And so I just think we're going to finally crack through this tomorrow and work our way into the zone down here. So this could give us a nice, cool, at least a 4.5 risk reward, in my opinion. Especially because we're trading down here. This goes up to the zone. Again, this is like an 80-point stop, which for me is worth taking, considering we could see 350 plus points on the drop. Also, looking at Nas has been squeezing here so much. Lots of imbalance left to drop into as well. So I do think we can see the market work its way down here. Nas not really giving me more ideas. We already took the sell. We took the sell on Nas this morning. I called this idea out, and it was a nice like 30, 40 point stop right over here. Closed out the buy, this push up here. Closed that out for the nice drop. It just didn't keep dropping, right? This lost quite a bit of momentum. So it dropped, and that's why I actually sent an update out on the app, because we dropped down and we filled imbalance, and then once we filled this imbalance, the market was ready to go again. So I did take some off the table around here, and that's really all it is that we have. So for now, so I'm not really looking to do much more on that end of things. So yeah, I mean, what I see here is US 30 as the play. We saw the big push up here, the liquidation, the drop, price is chilling down here. I think we could see quite the play. So I have alerts set when price gets back to the zone, and we can work our way down nicely here. So here it is. I'm going to send this to you guys as well. Here we go. All right, let me get this chat open. US 30. Boom. Dennis, what's up, man? Hello, Mike. I hope you're doing well. I was wondering if you can explain what you look for when price enters your mitigation zone, what time frame, what you look for to enter. Once I'm in there, I'm gonna. I actually don't usually wait for price action once it's in the zone. In my experience, waiting for extra price action, I'll miss the idea most of the time. So I'll consider previous levels of, like, previous supply zones. So here you had a resistance before. That can be a really good target for the present. Like, now that it liquidated it, it's still a relevant price for reversals. So I would still look for a reversal off of here, and I would take the sell. For example, in a buy scenario, we had a lot of support right around here. The market sweeps that liquidity and then runs. These levels of support should be relatively strong areas where the market reverses from in the future. Same thing if you're looking at NASDAQ. NASDAQ has some pretty good levels of support right here, which is why I'd be down to take a buy position with this here as well. Right around there. So yeah, I mean, you saw support. Something like this is definitely a possibility. Now this is a long way to go. We'll see what happens. There might be something else here in the meantime. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as soon as it hits that area where we previously had support, as soon as it's there, like, I'm in there. If I'm here, like, watching it, then and I already know like everything is all set in stone, then I can set a limit, and I'm like there, you know, managing it. Especially if I'm trading like futures and CFDs and just a whole bunch of other accounts and stuff, then I want to be able to be pretty effective. Or yeah, you can market execute. I usually market execute, and if depending on the account, I might have a limit set up somewhere. But what I don't do is I personally don't use limits if I'm not in front of the chart, because how I manage my trade honestly is a big part of my trading system. It just saves me from losing quite a bit, so I want to be able to give it attention for sure. So yeah, I mean that covers, guys, indices. Only other thing I haven't really walked over and talked about is oil, which oil has just been dropping since the zone that we marked up. If you were in Texas for the workshop, we actually talked about this sell zone on oil way up here. So some of you might be feeling good right now. The other thing that we can talk about, are you not worried that it can just completely run through your zone? No, I mean, I have a stop loss for a reason. If it does, then that's an L. That's okay. The reason also, I guess, to give you more context, 1 second. To give you also some more perspective, I have, and those of you have seen this happen live with me, you've seen this happen so many times. I have been in situations where the market is melting, absolutely melting. And let's see if I can find one recently. Like this one right here, Wednesday, November 20th. The market is just dying, melting away. It gets exactly to our zone. I don't need anything. It's like that. You know how people say you don't want to catch a falling knife? That's what I do. That is me. I'm the equivalent of catching the falling knife. And it's not because I think I'm cool. It's not because I think I'm better than anybody. Not even. It's just because I have enough proof. Like, I've just seen it so many times play out. I've seen the numbers. I know the effectiveness behind the confirmations and the correlation, everything all together. Same thing with this idea right here. This one was epic. We see it aggressively comes down, clears these lows, plays right off of our zone, and just instantly, right away, play off of here like just beautiful. Melts away Thursday, right after open, and then plays off the zone and just absolutely rips. So, yeah, no, I don't worry about it breaking through, because if it does, then awesome. I have a very, very quick loss, and it's over. It's game over. My losses are usually way faster than my wins are. What do you think about waiting for a 1 hour engulfing in your zone for confirmation? For most of my trades, that trade would be over already. And so that doesn't work for me, especially with indices. No chance. Also, that 1 hour engulfing completely changes the risk to reward for my trade. It would open my stop up so much. So yeah, I don't care for candlestick patterns, and the reason I don't care for candlestick patterns is because the patterns mean nothing to me. I don't trade patterns. Like it's understanding the narrative. It's understanding the liquidity, like where the money is sitting, and that's how I trade. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work. So it can work for other people. The candlestick patterns can be part of your system, and it gives you confirmations if that helps you. For me, I don't use those because it just changes my trade completely. So that's why it's of no use to me anymore, because the reason I'm in the market is just different than so another style. So, yeah, we can't see your screen. I don't think I'm not really showing anything. I'm not showing a chart. Or maybe I was earlier, but oh, I think I totally was. My bad. I was totally showing you guys something. I totally forgot. My bad. For example, like this idea here. Here I am talking about falling knives, and you guys can't even see it. So here the market's melting down, and then it comes right into the zone and aggressively, like this is falling off a cliff, and then just trampolines. Similar situation right here. Absolutely meltdown all for hours. But it gets right into the zone where we have confirmations, beautifully plays off of here. Now, actually, I didn't take this buy because it didn't go low enough. I wanted it a little bit lower. But for this one over here, this one was on point right there. So, yeah, now you guys kind of have an idea of why I'm willing to take those. It all comes back down to, it's not cockiness, it's not even recklessness, it's just enough setups over and over and over again, you'll get into it. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up, guys. I'm gonna do a little bit of crypto and then we're done, but a super small amount. I know using BTC.D can be used. I thought buying alts once BTC comes back to mitigate around 59.95. Would love to get your thoughts. Yeah, so check this out. And actually, I think this is all we're gonna go over today because I guess it's not really a surprise. DR, you are my duplication. But in your own way. So this is Bitcoin dominance. This basically shows how much does Bitcoin right now, like how much is it taking over the whole total market cap, or how much is it losing power over. And so, I mean, we've seen this break structure for the first time. It was higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And then now, I mean, Bitcoin just losing so much dominance over the rest of the market. And we're bearish now. Like, this is for sure extremely bearish. The only way that this would not be time is if somehow the rest of the week we just absolutely rip back up and Bitcoin just takes over the market cap again, and then this just like completely just reverses. Then this would just be an absolute insane liquidity capture. It's not impossible. So, but if it doesn't do that, if it doesn't just like make an insane comeback this week, and let's say we just kind of stay down here, then yeah, we're looking at this would be a change in trend, break of structure. We're bearish now. And what that means is that Bitcoin dominance is no longer trending to the upside. It means that Bitcoin now is losing market cap over it. And it's normal for this to come back. But if the market were to come back, then at these areas, yeah, this is where you would kind of want to see how you can position yourself in altcoins, taking in consideration price action at these areas. So like, especially if the market, if the charts are looking good, then you might be getting priced into some alts at amazing prices here. So sometimes what happens is that, especially if Bitcoin or if cryptos in general start to just drop, a lot of times Bitcoin, people start to, like, the money starts to flow back into Bitcoin, but not just when things are going up, but also when things are going down. So price might be going down, but Bitcoin dominance might go up. And so that might set us up for lower entries in price, but then the market is definitely still giving us signs that the alts are gonna keep going. So in my opinion, we're like a pullback away from that. Hey Dennis, if you want to, yeah. So it's in our private community, man. Obviously these are for anybody. But in my private community, you have like the breakdown of how everything, what I do and what we trade and why things happen the way they happen. That's of course if you want more hands-on work. Now you can, like, I trade my own way. It's incorporating smart money principles and narrative and correlations and stuff. There's probably other videos online, other people. I just haven't made those videos here on YouTube yet, but I'm sure you can find how to trade in similar ways. But yeah, if y'all are looking for more hands-on stuff, live trading every day, then obviously y'all can work together. But yeah, I mean, I'll get to it though. I'll get to just kind of putting some more stuff so you guys know step by step what I do right here. Said, I wonder how you determine where to re-enter on altcoins. Election day would be great, but there's a chance that we won't get down there. I mean, I think you can put it all into consideration. You might get an accumulation with alts, with, like, for example, you might get into here, and I think playing out of these imbalances at this point is probably a good idea. Around 80K, if we just don't see any shifts of momentum, then we'll probably get back down to those election prices. But this is kind of where I would feel pretty good about, which is right around 80,000, and seeing where things can go from there. That's pretty likely. So yeah, that's all I have for altcoins. I mean, at this point, you got take your pick, man. Like, it's that season. Find what narratives make sense to you. Is it AI? Is it meme coins? Is it utility coins, OG coins, DeFi? In my opinion, you want to think about where is the attention going. Right now, XRP is really hot again. XLM, all of these OG coins that are waking up, they're getting a lot of attention. But is attention going to stay there? Because you don't want to put your money where the attention is right now. You want to put your money where attention will be, where it's underlooked in the moment, where it's like, where should this go next? And so you're seeing a lot of things cycle. Bitcoin money goes into other OG coins. Obviously, we've seen a lot of these ISO coins pop off as well. And so, I'm sure memes are going to go and do their thing again sometime soon. So take your pick. For me, I'm focusing more on what I think is easier to onboard, like Solana, super easy to onboard. Base, really easy. So even coins within these ecosystems can go crazy. And so, yeah, I mean, I need to find a day to just do a crypto session fully, because I never, ever end up doing that session. So I need to do it. But, yeah, I mean, I have my bags. I'm pretty, like, transparent about those. I got some Sol, I got some Bonk, I got some Ponky, I got some Jup, I got some Fetch, some Brett, some Atom I just took profit on. Ondo just went crazy today and yesterday. Damn. Big Ondo energy. And then, so yeah, these are going nuts. So these are real world asset ones. Chainlink has been going crazy. I sent this out to you guys as well. There's just seasons for certain things to go off and for certain things not to. So I would say just don't chase. I'll make something more comprehensive. I have FIDA. FIDA finally popped off, which is like the ENS, but for crypto, for Sol. Yeah, there's a lot to uncover. But what I will say is this: just create your own conviction for now. I want to give you guys something more organized, but I don't have time to do that right now. Either way, though, I'm glad you guys are here, hanging out, and plugging in. So hopefully you guys can take advantage. I'm sure there's some good deals today, probably the last day, Cyber Monday. Today's Cyber Monday, right? Yeah. So if you guys are looking for some sort of, anything, resources, tools, you're probably going to find a discount. I forget that we sell a trading journal. We didn't even do a Cyber Monday deal, but it's there. If you want a trading journal, it's badass. Check it out. That's probably in the description somewhere. But yeah, guys. I mean, all I'm gonna say is the next to 2025, I think will be very hyperbolic, and so figure out how you're going to position yourself, and don't sleep on that. All right. But guys, I'll be here. Maybe not next Monday, but the Monday after that. I feel pretty confident about. But I'll let you guys know. Either way, we're getting closer and closer to launching our public community that's just open to anybody. And so stay tuned for that as well. So, guys,